Yeah, so at Wiki, I'm looking forward, we are looking forward at helping and adding values to the life of our peers and help them to achieve further growth in their existing endeavors. This is what our council, SME and MSME always looks and aims towards, as our motto depicts that we believe in let's empower to grow. After our launch in November, we have had a wonderful and insightful session on benefits of PF and ESIC by our own member Kanchan Chakhani, which benefited many. So we aim at holding monthly knowledge sessions, which will definitely add value in the lives of our peers. So an empowered woman is powerful beyond measures and beautiful beyond description. So we are here to empower each other through this event on budget today by yet another empowered woman. What is budget? If we come to it, what is budget? It is just simple statement by a government stating how much money it plans to spend on a particular thing in the next year and how it plans to collect the same. So now, without much ado, I will hand over to our moderator, Sonal. She is an advocate having 17 years of experience in, litigation in corporate, civil, writ, and intellectual property issues. She is also a Wipro certified IP lawyer. She has pursued company secretary course, but the attraction of law was so overwhelming to her that it made her choose it as a profession. She is also a Montessorian training girls to become teachers. So here we are, girls. Can we have a round of applause?
Hello and welcome to everybody to have joined this session on budget. The most important factor which has driven us to come to this session is that women are always conceived to be or portrayed to have less knowledge when it comes to finances. And to show off this perception, which is so wrongly put in the minds of the society, we have decided to take the session from the very horns. And there we have with us a very articulate a very articulate chartered accountant, an insolvency professional, as well as a very popular YouTube channel perfectionist who deals with financial issues. So she is very present in the virtual as well as in the physical form. Yeah, sorry, thank you so much. In the physical form to deal with all the finance issues that everybody has. Here we have our Vice President Swati Singhania to you, who is going to give you the tips on how to deal with the budget as well as what the budget brings in for. Our government has, through its budget, brought in various methods and devised many schemes whereby the inflation and deflation in the economy is dealt with so as to bring in economic stability. We have learned a lot from the pandemic, and all this is very evident from the budget that we have, whereby the 6 pillars have been enshrined by our Honorable Finance Minister, and details whereof is going to be shared with you by Swati Singhania. Here we have Swati Singhania to take you towards the insights of the budget.
Thank you so much, Sonal. Thank you so much, Sonal, and thank you so much, Shweta. Before you go ahead, I was thinking if Manjula ji can share some lines, and if Indu ji is also here, if she wants to share some opinion about Wiki and what we plan to do in the coming future. Manjula ji, I'll unmute you. Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Swati, for that opportunity. I think I would just like to mention to everybody that to celebrate the International Women's Day, we are coming forward with a convention, Prism of Possibilities, from 11th to 13th of March. And soon you will be getting our invites and all the agendas and everything. And I really wanted to be convention with the West Bengal sector councils coming forward, with their ideas and with their visions and missions, and we will look forward to it.
Super, great. Thank you so much. Indraji, I can see finally she's managed to remain online.
Yeah, I have managed, but I don't know whether you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Yes, I have been looking forward to this session because it's been been like a roller coaster ride for me to know more about what is happening with the budget. So I think this is going to be a wonderful session and
Yes.
very fruitful, very insightful, and we are really, really looking forward to it. But as I said, since I'm traveling, I'm sorry if I do get cut off. Please don't mind. I will catch up on the Facebook recording in case I do. And
Yes.
Manjula ji has told you already about the convention. So we need a lot of inputs from all of you. After we learn so much from you today, I'm sure we can go on.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you
All
so
the best,
much.
Swati.
Thank you. So guys, let's start understanding the budget and without any further delay. So as Shweta was mentioning, what is budget and what really is all about budget and why is it so talked about? So as per our constitution, the government is supposed to give its Bahi Khata. So as we submit, as business owners, like we submit our balance sheets and profit and loss, the government is also supposed to submit a balance sheet and profit and loss. So a budget is basically a summary of what was done in the last year. And obviously going forward in the next year, what new laws the government would want to bring, what new schemes the government would want to bring, and how does it plan to spend the money that it has earned in its taxation revenues. Now, obviously this year, the budget was really hyped, largely because of this was the first budget post the COVID session. And everyone was really hopeful as to magic will happen this budget. Now, whether magic has happened or not for this budget, we can decide by the end of this session. So this budget was really hyped because of it being a post-pandemic session, a budget, and obviously there's a lot of expectation from the government that something will happen and the economy will revive altogether. And so this year, obviously, we've seen that the fiscal deficit in this coming year is going to be about 6.8% of the GDP, and last year it was 9.5. What is fiscal deficit? I'm sure everyone knows. It's basically when the government spends more than it earns, and how it matches up the difference is again given in the budget as to where they will bring the gap. So this is largely why this budget was really hyped about. And now let me come to the details of this budget. So this budget was presented by the finance minister in 6 pillars. So when she says 6 pillars, it basically means these 6 pillars that are given on the slide. So she divided the whole budget between these 6 pillars, which is health and well-being, fiscal and financial capital and infrastructure, and inclusive development for aspirational India, human group capital, the research and development, and minimum government, maximum governance. Now, this was done so that different focus areas can be created, and accordingly based on which sectors we survive in. So let's talk about health and well-being. If someone is there in the hospital industry, if you are someone who is in the medical industry, this pillar will be really beneficial to you, because this year the government plans to roll out money like crazy in the medical field. Obviously, since it being a post-pandemic budget, there are a lot of development that is going to come. So many new hospitals are going to be made. So many new clinics are going to be made. N numbers of old clinics are going to be revamped. So basically the whole medical infrastructure of the country is going to be revamped, and the government is going to make some serious efforts on revamping them. Also, the government has launched something called PM Atmanirbhar Swasth Bharat Yojana, which is inclusive of this development that I said. And so if you can see, there is the amount of money that is going to come in the health and medical sector is very, very high, is huge. And so this is a very, very good time for people in the health and medical industry to capture this spending and ensure that they can participate in the growth that the government is promised. Now, based on what the government promises, why we as Bharatiya Nagrik, we need to know is that when the government is saying that we will spend 2 lakh crores approximately on this segment, a little bit of that will come to everyone in the health industry as far as you are ready to participate in the growth. So there'll be tenders for opening hospitals, there'll be tenders for renovating hospitals, there'll be tender for buying medical equipments. How much of that can we participate in is up to us. So this is going to be a great year for people in medical industry and people in hospital industry. But obviously there is a good amount of money that is going in the COVID vaccines also, as you can see. Now let's come to the second pillar, which is about physical and financial capital and infrastructure. So this year, the government's focus has largely been on boosting the economy. Now, when they say boosting the boosting of the economy can only happen when there is a good amount of investment and money flow happening in our country. For that amount of growth and boosting and growth to happen in our country, in fact, for any country, the government spending is the best catalyst for it. Any private company will not have the capacity to the amount of spending that a government, the national government, will have. And so the amount of infrastructure development that the finance minister has promised, if this has to happen and if this happens during this year, our country will see a very, very high amount of growth again in sectors like infrastructure. And as soon as infrastructure grows, every allied industry to it grows. So for example, when the government says 7 textile parks, that means when they will buy lands, they will put up factories, they will give employment to laborers. That means better cotton production, that means better silk production, better buying of all these material, and setting up of those parks itself will bring in a lot of investments in the allied sectors like steel, like cement, etc. And they have not just stopped at textile parks. Textile park is specific 7 textile parks that they have promised in the next 3 years. They have also promised roads, railways, airports, metro rail. So basically they are trying to bring in as much money as possible in the infrastructure segment. Now, something which is interesting, which was launched, was the production linked investment incentive scheme. This is linked to the Atmanirbhar Bharat Yojana that the government has launched last year. Now, this basically means that the production sector or the manufacturing sector, overall manufacturing sector, the government will bring in a lot of incentives so that people grow, people put up more expansions, people put up more factories, and accordingly they will be getting schemes for it. So people in the manufacturing industry should keep an eye of the production linked incentive schemes, which is PLI schemes, and they should understand these schemes the day they are launched so that they can start utilizing them for their own benefit. And so again, if this investment can happen, there will be a lot of growth that will happen in our country. Let's come to the third pillar, which says inclusive development for aspirational India. Now, this is where the government starts including. So if you see, the government has included the manufacturing sector, it has included the medical and the health sector. Now, slowly the government has moved to the agriculture and the irrigation and the farmer segment. Here again, the government has rolled out a lot of incentives and has put in a huge amount of money. If you see, it's 16.5 lakh crores that the government is planning to give as credit, agriculture credit, to the farmers and the related industry. So again, if this money comes in our society, it has to rotate. And from the farmers, it will go to, things that the farmers would buy, and then ultimately the money supply would grow in our country. And so we will see the GDP growing, we will see everything related to the economy of our country going. Now, if you see, there are two important, let's say, initiatives that the government has done when it comes to the completely rural economy, which is one nation, one ration card. this has come out from the migration labors and the whole fiasco when happened when COVID was at its peak, when people were moving from one city to another because they thought they will not get food and basic ration in the city that they have migrated to. So this is basically an output of that, and which I personally think is a great initiative that the government has launched. And the social security benefits, which we know that our chamber had also requested the finance minister to expand it to the gig and platform workers, which has happened in this budget too. The last three which happened was the human capital. So much infrastructure development, so much development when it happens, we are a country filled with population. So we need that infrastructure growth to be matched up. We need people to support the growth. We need people to participate in the growth. So for every growth, you would need people from the top and bottom. So you need senior managers, you need juniors, you need laborers everywhere. So to match up all the things that the government has promised in the first three pillars, the fourth pillar came in where the human capital was promised to grow. So here schools will be launched. There will be Sainik schools, there will be Eklavya model schools, there will be a lot of schools in association with charitable institutes that the government will launch, because the charitable institutes in our country have very good reach, especially in villages. Something which was really appreciated was that there will be a central university in Leh. Now this Leh Ladakh, we mostly know as our holiday destinations, but if there has to be a university that comes in, imagine so many students will start going to that city, that beautiful city, to start studying, and that city will have an added benefit to having such a great government university. And the government is in talks with a lot of governments like Japan and UAE for exchanging skills, and so that, you know, the things that we are good at, we can train their people and their people can train our people. If you see it as a flow, and I hope I'm not boring you, I'll finish the 6 pillars in the next 5-6 minutes. So once the human capital has grown, the government said that, okay, all this has happened, but where is the innovation? Where is the research? So then the government talked about research and development and innovation. Here, the government has promised some more expenditure in with the space research. So there'll be, you know, a new PSU will be formed, which is called the New Space India Limited, which will have a completely different target. The Gaganyaan mission will have more, there are more astronauts which are getting trained to launch this. So if you see, again, the government didn't ignore that we have, hame chand pe bhi jana aur hame chand ke aage bhi jana hai. So that is also there in the budget, and it holds one of the pillars for our country. So we can't ignore that innovation is not important. So let's go to the next. The last pillar was minimum government and maximum governance. Now here what the government is saying is that what the government really wants to do is that they want to reduce the human intervention in our day-to-day life. And especially if you see our country, people say that the ease of doing benefit, if you know, that is a very important parameter, especially when the foreign investment comes in. So one of the very important initiatives or agenda of the Indian government is to increase India's ranking in the ease of doing business. So when India goes up in the ease of doing business, there will be more and more foreign investment that will come in our country. More foreign investment means our country will grow better. And so the government is focusing on minimum government, maximum governance. So that means, if you see, everything is slowly getting digitalized. Our whole income tax assessment process is now getting totally digitalized. In the last 2 years, I don't know about you guys, but this year when our individual tax returns were filed, within a week, we received the message from the department that, okay, your assessment is complete and you will be getting the refund very soon. And within 2 days, we got the refund. I remember there were days when this refund process used to take 2 years and 3 years. But this year it took hardly a week. Now that's fabulous. All that is happening because government is putting initiative for it. The government is putting efforts to it. Now taking this, they are going to make everything very digitalized. One thing which particularly the finance minister said was that the forthcoming census. So what is census? They will come to your house and say, आपके घर में कितने लोग हैं, कितने बच्चे हैं, कितने उम्र के हैं, कितने 80 years above है, कितने 60 years above है. It's more like a counting which happens of the whole country. Now that census will become digitalized. Can you imagine how fabulous that would be? Because it has not happened in our country ever. It has always been a physical census. So these were the 6 pillars that the finance minister talked about. And I hope now with this, you will know why it was 6 pillars and how her endeavor was to actually create a 360-degree coverage for our country, so that she tries and covers everything. So if you see, she's covered medical and hospital, because obviously that is top of our mind right now. We've just survived 2020. Then she obviously came to infrastructure and the amount of investment and money that they're going to put into our country this year. And then human capital, and then research, and then coming to the overall management of the country. So these were the 6 pillars. So do you guys have any questions on 6 pillars, or should I move to the next section? I can pause the share also if you guys want.
I think you were
Very
very clear.
clear? Okay.
If you can throw some light on the fact that why were these 6 pillars important, and why did we not think of these 6 pillars before, and why did we come up with something like this only in this government?
So my personal take on that is that till now budget was always about 2 things. Income tax में क्या changes हो रहा है और government कितना investment करेगी. These used to be the top 2 things. Even my expectation when I was hearing the budget, I was like, she's hardly spoken about income tax, and how can that budget be a budget? But then I think overall this government we can call it a progressive government, which is trying to bring the country up to speed to the world. They've tried making the budget not just about income tax and not just about the amount of money the government is going to bring in, but also about other things. So for example, minimum government and maximum governance. This could have been just a normal speech, but to include that in the budget will suddenly give it very, very good, very high importance. So tomorrow you will see all the departments, even the departments as small as the city department, city government departments, will slowly down the line start moving to digital platforms. So every interaction that you do, so let me take a very small example. Trade license initially used to only happen through physical offices. आपको पैसे लेके जाना होता था, trade license आपका renew होता था. Now it's happening online. So I don't need to go to a department if I have to renew my trade license. If you see, it's a very small change, but it saves at least 2 to 3 man days. My person used to go, एक दिन time spend करता था, फिर अगले दिन आता था, फिर जाता था. So it's saving 3 man days for me, and I'm only spending probably 30 minutes to get that trade license renewed. So all this to ensure that the budget starts becoming a little more elaborate and not just about direct tax and how much money is going to be spent. I think that is why they brought in 6 pillars. And I would hope that next year, the budget that when they present, they would use the same pillars and say, okay, this is what we've done in this pillar, and this year we want to spend this much on this pillar. So they should continue these 6 pillars and not just change them next year. That would maintain them. That would make them a little more historical, I think. Yes.
I really feel, Sweta, sorry, Swati, interrupting you. I really feel
Yes.
the reason why this 6 pillars have been brought the way they have been brought in is only because to ensure that each and every individual and citizen today feels connected with the economy, and somewhere down the line with putting human first, ensuring they're healthy, wealthy, and wise. We are moving towards a social security country, which we were for a long time trying to achieve.
True. I agree. Matlab, that's what, you know. So the whole idea as to why she's brought the 6 pillars, we all have our different opinions, and I think, but I think we all jointly agree that it's a good step. It's a good
Absolutely.
thing. Yes. Yeah. So I think let me go to the next section, which is about MSME and SME highlights. And because I think I have about half an hour more. So now this, again, you know, this government has been a pro MSME and SME government. If you go back to the history, MSME and SME is a segment which basically helps the large segment run. But it has always been the most ignored segment because it's the small industries, right? These are small and medium industries. So they are like the babies in the family. So they are important, but no one gives them too much heed. But with the changing times, the government has started realizing that giving them importance is very, very, very critical. And as the more importance they give to these younger babies of their family, they are setting the correct foundation for their family. And so instead of just looking at, okay, mere ghar ka bada bachcha kaun hai, uska dhyan rakho, they started taking care of everyone in the family. So now when it comes to SME and MSME, this year there were no frills, or let's say there were no chocolates which were distributed to MSME and SME. But the government has promised that during this year, they are going to bring in a lot of more initiatives for the MSME and SME segment. And the government also said that for women-oriented MSMEs, the margin requirement for loan, whenever you're going to take any new loans, the margin requirement will go down. Now, this is very, very important. Obviously, this is because the government wants more women to come in the business segment. And I think that is what our chamber and council also wants. So this is what the government also said. The government has obviously increased the allocation for MSME segment. Now, this allocation is used for setting up the MSME department. It is used to providing those initiatives and exemptions that the MSME companies enjoy. And then, you know, there's so many benefits these days. There's MSME Samadhan. There are departments specifically made only for the MSME segment. So all this consumes money, and this is where the government has rolled out more money for the MSME segment. Plus, the government also said that NCLT, which is basically, if I can, I can put it in a more simpler way, that it is the company's code. So in the company's code, there will again, as it said in one of the pillars, that there will be more e-code. So that means less physical interaction, and there will be more better systems for MSME. So now let's say a 10 crore company is filing a case in NCLT and a 1,000 crore company is filing the case in NCLT. They both should consume different amounts of time. And that is what the government is saying, that for MSME, we'll bring in more systems so that their resolution and their any problem that they face will happen in a very shortened way, which I think is good. Again, it is about saving time for this segment. Not everything is about money. Some things are just about the systems also. Now, these two changes which the government has brought in, I think of my experience of working with smaller companies and, you know, the clients that they have. I have a lot of startup companies as my clients, and I feel that these two are very important changes that the government has brought in, especially these small companies. Now, the beauty of this budget is that the finance minister just said it as one single line, that, okay, the small company definition is changing, but people didn't realize the importance of small companies. Now, because the definition of the small companies has changed of a revenue from 2 crore to 20 crore, that means they will take so many formalities have reduced. There will be lesser audit requirements, there will be lesser formalities, there will be lesser statutory formalities. Any formality that you are doing in your company, if you are classified as a small company, if you had 10 formalities, statutory regulations before, if you classify as small company, those 10 will suddenly become 4 and 5. And I think for business owners, that is a great boost, because not only formalities are reducing, your time is saved, your effort is saved, and that's, I think, fabulous. It's about getting intangible benefits instead of tangible benefits. And one-person company, again, for startups, this is very, very good, because starting a one-person company is very easy and it requires much lesser formalities. So if you see overall what the government is trying to do for MSME segment is they're trying to reduce the formalities that this segment goes through. And so that, you know, there is lesser jhamela that the country faces, that people faces if you want to start a business. So today, if you decide that I have to start a business, and you know that I can start it through a one-person company, or even if I start it through a LLP, my formalities will be less, and I have to do lesser audit and lesser filing of returns. The ease of business ranking of our country goes up, and ultimately that helps the government somewhere, and it helps us also as a council and chamber, as we can tell people more about it and encourage them to make their business more organized. I personally feel that women in our country have got into business and they have started doing some fabulous works and fabulous products that they have started making, but they're still to get organized and formalized about it. They still don't have registered licenses, they still don't have GST, they still don't have their profit and loss statement made. So it's a very unorganized way through which they make it. And I think our country and we as a council and chamber should take that initiative of formalizing their businesses, because not only it makes them more committed to it, it also, you know, दिखता है उनको कि अरे मैंने 1 करोड़ का सामान बेचा, उसमें मेरे को 20 लाख का प्रॉफिट हुआ है. नहीं तो ऐसे तो पैसे आए और गए, बैंक अकाउंट में सब खत्म हो जाता है, कुछ पता नहीं चलता है. So this is, as a council, we can take up the initiative, and as a chamber, we can take up the initiative. But these two are very good changes. This will not bring money immediately in our hands, but bring down the formalities. And maybe you can negotiate better rates with your consultant for giving you more discount, because there are lesser formalities now. So now those were about MSME and SME. Let me not bore you much. I know all of you must be like, this is so technical, but let me quickly tell you about direct tax, which is income tax changes, important income tax changes, and a little bit about GST and customs duty changes. So for startups, the income tax, which is direct tax, the government has, so jitne bhi startups hote hain, if you're registered as a startup with the government, for 3 consecutive years, you don't have to pay taxes. All your profits are exempted under Section 81AC. Now, this has been extended till 2022. The validity of this was expiring in March 21. The government has expanded it by a year. And in addition to this startup, if you are investing in a startup, there are some formalities for it and some conditions to it, but you get capital gains exemption. And that has also been extended to next year. So this basically, if you are a startup, you should register with the Indian government to get your startup license. And if you get that startup license, for 3 years, you don't have to pay taxes, and you're straight away saving 20-30% of your income. So this is very, very good. If you are a new business, you should register yourself as startup with the Indian government, or at least try registering yourself with them. This will also help you get more investments in your company, because the capital gains is exempted. For individuals, mostly har saal kya hota hai, that the government, the finance minister brings in income tax mein ye change hai, ye slab change hai, ye slab change hai. If you remember, last year also there were too many changes in the income tax slabs. But this year, there has not been any major changes. No change in the tax slab. Only major changes are that if you are 75 years and above, and if your income is only coming from interest and pension, then you don't need to file your income tax return. But you need to inform your bank that मैं 75 साल से ज़्यादा का हूँ और ज़्यादा की हूँ और मैं रिटर्न नहीं भरूंगी, तो आप TDS काट के मेरा पैसा दे दीजिए. So this is going to help a small segment of our society. But if you have someone at 75 years and above, if you imagine for someone who doesn't have kids, for them filing return at 80 years is a very difficult task. So yes, if you put yourself in those shoes, you'll realize it's such a strong benefit for them, because उनको किसी के यहाँ जाके रिटर्न भरवाने का झमेला नहीं करना है. And for normal, the next was that PPF, which is currently giving one of the highest returns possible. As per ATC, you can't deposit more than 1.5 lakhs, but people were depositing a lot of money in PPF because the interest was very high. So now the government says that अगर आप 2.5 लाख से ज्यादा उसमें जमा करते हैं किसी भी साल, तो उस साल में जो इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा आपको उससे, वो 2.5 लाख से ज्यादा का इंटरेस्ट एग्जेम्पशन नहीं मिलेगा, मतलब उसके ऊपर आपको टैक्स देना होगा. So this is basically because the government wants कि हम सारा पैसा पीपीएफ में नहीं जमा करें, शेयर्स में भी करें, लोगों के बिजनेसेस में भी इन्वेस्ट करें, और बाकी चीजों में भी इन्वेस्ट करें, प्रॉपर्टी में भी इन्वेस्ट करें, और ओवरऑल इकोनॉमी बेटर हो. To reduce the concentration on PPF, the government is wanting us to invest in other segments also. And there were some things like leave, travel, encashment में benefit है. For us, अब जब आप रिटर्न फाइल करेंगे, और अगर आप अपनी रिटर्न फाइलिंग खुद से करना चाहते हैं, जो बहुत ही आसान काम है, आपका डेटा बहुत हद तक प्री फिल आएगा. तो आपका जो भी TDS कटता है, आप जो भी डिटेल्स ऑलरेडी गवर्नमेंट को दे रखे हैं, वो एज अ सेव्ड फॉर्मेट आपके उसमें आएगा, बिकॉज आपके पैन कार्ड एंड आधार कार्ड से लिंक होकर आएगा. सो व्हाट द गवर्नमेंट इज बेसिकली ट्राइंग टू डू इज ब्रिंग डाउन द ओवरऑल फॉर्मेलिटीज. ये छोटी सी चीज है, बट जो रिटर्न फाइल करता है उसको पता है ये कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है. तो अगर आज के दिन में हमारा 1 घंटा लगता है इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल करने में, तो ये उसका 15 मिनट आपका बचा देगा. तो दिस इज व्हाट दिस इनिशिएटिव विल ब्रिंग इन. नाउ फॉर बिजनेसेस, in addition to various other changes, the top 2 changes was कि अगर आपकी कंपनी एम्प्लॉय कंट्रीब्यूशन सैलरी पे पीएफ काटती है, तो वो प्लीज पीएफ को टाइम पे जमा कीजिए, बिकॉज अगर आप वो पीएफ को टाइम पे जमा नहीं करेंगे, तो आपके बिजनेस में उसको एज एन एग्जाम्पशन अलाउड नहीं होगा, उसका डिडक्शन अलाउड नहीं होगा. इन द सेंस उसको खर्चा नहीं माना जाएगा आपकी पीएल, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस में, इनकम टैक्स कैलकुलेशन के वक्त. सो अगर आप काट ही रहे हैं एम्प्लॉयज का पैसा कि हम आपका पीएफ और ईएसआई में देंगे, तो प्लीज उसको टाइम पे जमा कीजिए. गवर्नमेंट सिर्फ इतना ही बोलती है कि काटो तो टाइम पे जमा करो. एंड सेकेंड, द गवर्नमेंट इज व्हाट, जो टैक्स ऑडिट की लिमिट है, दैट हैज बीन इंक्रीज्ड फ्रॉम 5 crores to 10 crores. अगेन, दिस इज सिमिलर टू द अदर फॉर्मेलिटीज, दैट इफ योर बिजनेस इज smaller to a turnover of 10 crores, you don't need to go through a tax audit process. So that means lesser kharcha to your chartered accountant, lesser formalities, and obviously the ease of business will go up, and more people will try and come into business, because they are saying, ठीक है, initial few years at least मुझे tax audit नहीं करानी है, statutory audit करानी होगी, but tax audit नहीं करानी है, तो बहुत काम उससे आसान हो जाता है. Now, some time limits have been changed. If I have to bring this slide into one summary, जब आप रिटर्न फाइल करते हैं, तो उसके पहले था कि कुछ सालों तक भी आपकी रिटर्न वापस से खुल सकती थी, और गवर्नमेंट आपको बोल सकती थी कि बॉस तुमने 1999 में ये टैक्स सबमिट किया था, तो अब उसका मुझे जवाब दो. बट नाउ व्हाट द गवर्नमेंट इज सेइंग दैट दिस ओपन कैन ओनली हैपन फॉर 3 years, until unless आपका जो टैक्स इवेजन है वो 50 लाख से ज्यादा का है. अगर गवर्नमेंट को ये लगता है कि आपने 50 लाख से ज्यादा टैक्स की चोरी की है या चांसेस है चोरी के, तो आपका 10 साल तक का असेसमेंट ईयर का बैलेंस शीट खुल सकता है. बट फॉर मैक्सिमम ऑफ द पीपल 3 years इज द मैक्सिमम. सो इफ यू, कई बार ये रिटर्न फॉर्मेलिटीज गलत भी खुल जाते थे. गवर्नमेंट को लगता था कि आपने टैक्स इवेजन नहीं किया है, बट टैक्स इवेजन किया है, बट होता नहीं था. एंड कई बार जब 7-8 साल पुराना डेटा खुलता था, तो इवन असेसी जो होता है उसको याद नहीं होता है कि उस साल क्या हुआ था. तो उसकी वजह से बहुत हैरेसमेंट हो जाती थी कई बार, एंड पीपल यूज्ड टू फेस अ लॉट. आई नो समवन इन माय फैमिली हु फेस्ड अ लॉट, though they are salaried, but their returns were opened after 7-8 years, and they faced a lot of problems because of it. So now this will not happen, because they didn't had this book balance sheet only कि उनका 50 लाख का evasion हो. So for small taxpayers, 3 years is the maximum that the government will open your balance returns, income tax assessments. So this is basically a summary of the time limits, and there are some other time limits which have changed. But this 10-year to 3-year is my favorite. These are some other changes. Let me skip that and quickly cover the GST because that's the last section almost. So in the first thing, what the government is saying for people who know, अभी GST दो तरीके का रिटर्न, एनुअल रिटर्न जब जाती है तो वो GSTR 9 जाता है और 9C जाता है. Now 9C is something which your chartered accountant is supposed to sign, approve and file. So the government is working that by next year 9C will not be needed. They have proposed that annual audit nahi chahiye hogi or as 9C. So that again reduces the formalities. Honestly, for me, if I think as a business owner, it would be a great benefit because one return less, and that is good. But from a practitioner point of view, one return less. So that's a negative. But the world is like that. And you will have to self-attest it. That's more important. And the third thing which the government said was about GSTR 2A. A lot of you, I'm sure, know about GSTR 2A. 2A is a basically reconciliation कि आपको कितना इनपुट मिला, आपको कितना आउटपुट हुआ और आपने जो जो इनपुट क्लेम किया उसके अगेंस्ट में किस किसने रिटर्न नहीं फाइल किया. सो गवर्नमेंट ये कहती है कि आपने अगर इनपुट क्लेम किया है लेकिन अगर सामने वाले ने रिटर्न नहीं फाइल की तो आपको उसका इनपुट नहीं मिलेगा और इसीलिए 2A बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. सो फॉर ऑल बिजनेस ओनर्स हु आर लिसनिंग दिस, please go ahead and look at your 2A every month. I ensure for all the GST filings that my team is involved in, we ensure that the GSTR 2A is done every month and we send a report to our clients that, okay, these are the parties which have not given you input. What you want to do about them, you have to take a call. You can call them and say, कई बार ऐसा होता है कि उन्होंने आपका GSTR नंबर गलत दे दिया है, इसलिए you are not getting an input. And so it's a very small correction that needs to be done. So within time रहते रहते आप उसका correction करा सकते हैं, and that is why the government is insisting on this so that we are pushed to reconcile our accounts. So इस बहाने आपके accounts हर महीने reconcile हो जाते हैं. So there are a lot of benefits to this. It may be a little rough initially, but down the line you will like that हर महीने आपकी GSTR 2A file होती है, check होती है rather. So you should reconcile your GSTR 2A every month. If you're not doing it, please start doing it. The last which the government says is that basically it meant that the government will, some of the changes, some of the taxes, interest basically, the government will retrospectively change and आपका जो interest लगेगा वो net liability पे लगेगा instead of gross liability. So this is what the government has largely said in GST. But what the government said was that this year they are going to bring in a lot of changes in GST and customs duty also. So by October, the government is going to bring in a full-fledged new system for customs duty, and they are going to review more than 400 items जो हमारे almost independence या जब से customs duty act बना है तब से चलते आ रहे हैं. So this year there is going to be a major overall change in customs duty, and there will be more than 400 items जिनकी duties change होगी. The government has already changed customs duty for a lot of items, including gold and silver. Gold and silver import duty has been reduced, and that is why gold and silver has suddenly become more cheaper during this week. So if you see, gold has fallen in the past 1 week, 10 days. So these are some of the changes that the government has brought in. So we can expect a lot of changes coming in GST and customs duty in this coming year. For all the people who are working in export and import industry, this year is going to be very, very exciting because customs duty is going to be very, it's going to be a very volatile or very talked about topic. And again, GST has been a talked about topic forever since the time it has come in. So as a summary, there are not many changes which the government has brought in the budget as of now, but we can expect a lot of changes coming this year. So for people who are in business, pull up your socks, start getting more organized about your accounts, because there is going to be more and more formalities that will come in, and some formalities which are of no use will start getting out of the system. So you need to be updated about what's happening around you. For people who are in practice and service industry, I think for us, it's a school time always because we have to continue reading all through. And for people who are helping others grow, I would insist that you help people become more organized. Ask them to start registering your business, because only when they start registering their business, they will understand the benefits that they can enjoy from all the initiatives that the government is bringing. So the government is saying, मेरे पास पैसे हैं, मैं small scale businesses को देना चाहता हूँ, लेकिन अगर हम apply ही नहीं करेंगे तो हमें वो पैसे मिलेंगे कैसे? So this is what the whole initiative of the government this year was. It's up to us what we want to do about it. So this has been a wrap on my session till now. So guys, any Sonal? Yeah,
but
questions.
we're also reading about faceless dispute resolution when it comes to tax. Will you just enlighten on that?
Yes. So I think it was there somewhere. I skipped on it. It's basically meaning, you know, something which I said that आपने इनकम टैक्स फाइल किया और एक हफ्ते में आपके पास उसका रिफंड आ गया या नोटिस आ गई या व्हाटएवर सोल्यूशन आ गया. सो आपको पता भी नहीं है एक हफ्ते के अंदर अंदर कितना काम हो गया आपकी छोटी सी इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न पे. सो दिस सेम प्रोसेस विल स्टार्ट हैपनिंग टू एवरीथिंग रिलेटिंग टू फॉर्मेलिटीज. आपके जो इनकम टैक्स असेसमेंट्स होते हैं, जब गवर्नमेंट नोटिस देती है कि अच्छा 2 साल पहले आपने ये रिटर्न दिया था, हमारे हिसाब से ये गलत है, इसमें ये होना चाहिए. सो अभी तक क्या होता था कि आपको इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर के पास जाना पड़ता था और बोलना पड़ता था, सर ये देखिए मेरा बिल है, ये मेरा डॉक्यूमेंट है, प्लीज ये सही है जो मैंने रिटर्न फाइल किया. एंड देन इट डिपेंडेड ऑन हिज पर्सनल डिस्क्रिशन एंड ऑब्वियसली बेस्ड ऑन द लॉ एंड ऑर्डर दैट ही वुड अलाउ और डिसअलाउ योर इनकम. बट नाउ एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग टू बी सिस्टम ड्रिवन. आपको वो फॉर्म ऑनलाइन डालना है, आपको अपने बिल्स ऑनलाइन सबमिट करने हैं, एंड देयर आर पीपल बिहाइंड कंप्यूटर्स सिटिंग समवेयर एंड देयर वुड ऑब्वियसली बी people approved by the government who will say कि boss नहीं ये सही है या ये नहीं सही है. So that is something that is going to be in the coming days. About faceless, that's Sonal asked.
Yeah, thank you so much for this insightful take on the budget. Well, to wrap up, I would just say that the government is basically trying to deter us from the brain drain. That is the reason why human capital, they're investing so much on human capital, ensuring that we have various schools for every person, every individual, every child. And also we have exchange programs from countries where there is a good amount of brain drain too. Also, we have very, very happily taken up the initiative of Atmanirbhar, but carrying it forward from the days of COVID up to here is what the government is trying to do through this budget, when it is empowering women by ensuring women get lots of MSME benefits. It is also brought in the aspect of one-person company as well as small companies, where the amount of paperwork which is carrying on, the amount of compliances which is going on is reduced. So therefore, a person would not shudder to form a company and form a LLP or make himself with a face or give a face to himself. And because these so many compliances are now going to be reduced to just a few, which will probably not cause any impediment in anybody in any compliances. Also, a very important aspect in the government's union budget in showing that it cares for every strata of the economy as well as every individual is when the government comes up with something like no return filing for senior citizen. A strata which has been helping so much or contributing to the economic growth of the country today will not have to go to the rigmarole of filing an income tax return. This is where the government has taken a very good initiative by showing that it has to give back to the senior citizens that they have received.
Correct.
Also, when it comes to faceless dispute resolution, which Swati was also enlightening on how it was, through this initiative of faceless dispute resolution, I feel particularly that the corruption level, which is so rampant, will really reduce. Today, I do not know where will my file go to and which income output I have to really go and meet, and whose palms I can grease to get my way out. That I think is a very good take of the government.
Right.
And with that, we become Atmanirbhar, and we also have a good face to show or pull up in the world economy.
Right.
Then a very important factor, we being an economy which is so huge in number, so much of human population, where justice delayed is always justice denied. So with the formation of e-courts, the rigor rule of physical presence in a court, the hassles of presenting yourself in a
Yeah.
we will try to reduce the number of cases, because I, being a practitioner, legal practitioner, I understand how much it is difficult for every individual to, like, make yourself physically present in a court where it is not so much required also.
Right.
Well, that's a very good move of the government, and I really, really hope that this comes forward very fast. Also, what the government is trying to basically do through this budget, which Swati has in details dealt with,
Yeah.
is every aspect of the human society, every aspect of you and me, whether it is infrastructure development, everything about the resources of our country, be dealt with in the form of providing infrastructure, capitalizing on resources, coming back to weavers. When we have the 7 textile parks promised to us,
Yeah.
weavers are the mainstay of our economy. Farmers mainstay. We are an agrarian economy, which is based on agriculture. So basically, to give them some impetus, to give them some say or some stand in the budget, was a very good move by the government. So thanks a lot. A very, very informative session, Swati. And I really feel that we women now will not be the ones who do not understand budget and who do not understand finances. We can
Yeah.
show one woman to another, it is really a good job done, and we will
Yeah.
really make a change.
Yeah, I only feared that I hope it was not boring, because it was too technical, and yeah, as far as it was not boring, I did my purpose.
At times, the technicalities
No,
are important
Swati,
to ensure that we are present.
Yeah, true.
We are
it was
present, being
not at
well.
all. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
sorry. Carry on.
Go
Swati, it was
ahead,
not
Shweta.
at all boring. It was not at all boring. I heard it while the entire way I was driving. Finally, I'm home, and I could gather a lot of information which I maybe had missed during the budget.
Yeah,
And I'm sure there's so much is covered during the budget that humanly it's not possible to for each and every individual to capture everything in one go. So
right.
these sections are very important so that we get to hear it in bits and pieces and in more elaborate ways so that we can incorporate the same.
I'm
So
glad.
yeah, surely.
And also
So
in a
because even
simplified
I
manner,
went into
because
that.
it's easier for everybody to understand at their level.
Yes.
Yeah,
So there are other budget sessions also happening here and there. So
yeah.
whenever we get to hear, it is always like every time we get to hear something which we had missed.
New. Yeah, true.
Very
That's
nice.
about
Thank you.
knowledge. Superb. So I think, thank you guys. Thank you for offering me the opportunity, and I think we can, yeah.
Rohini said something, yes.
Rohini and Dipti ji, did you guys learn anything new?
I was interested in only income tax and GST part,
Ha.
and apart from that, everything was new for me.
Yeah, but income tax and GST, not so much in income tax, but GST, there are going to be a lot of changes in the coming year. Income tax में ज़्यादा नहीं होगा, but GST में बहुत changes आएंगे इस साल में.
Swati, only for my knowledge, and only correct me if I'm wrong when I say that because of the pandemic situation, the government has been kind enough to reduce the percentage of tax. Is it?
Tax percentage तो कुछ कम हुआ ही नहीं है ना.
नहीं, 30% से 25% हुआ है.
Last year हो गया था.
Last year हो गया था.
All that happened last year.
Oh, right.
So last year there were, last year there was a overall change in the income tax slabs. The government had brought it down. This year they didn't change anything. They were like, जो return पिछले साल फाइल किए थे, इस बार भी उसी system पे फाइल होगा.
This year mainly system थोड़ा change हुआ है.
इस बार सिर्फ गवर्नमेंट का 2 ही इनिशिएटिव था कि हम बहुत खर्च, हम इकोनॉमी को पैसे से भर देंगे ताकि इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हो, लोग कमाएं, आगे बढ़े, रोना बंद करो. और दूसरे तरफ था कि बॉस तुम कमाओ और हम इधर हम सिस्टम टाइट कर रहे हैं.
But GST बढ़ रहा है ना.
GST नहीं बढ़ रहा है.
GST is increasing ultimately.
No, GST is not increasing as of now. The customs duty is increasing. So बहुत सी चीजों का customs duty change हुआ है. So phones का दाम बढ़ गया है, and बहुत सी चीजें जो बाहर से आती थी, largely 2-3 countries specific से ज्यादा आती थी, उनके import duties बढ़ा दिए गवर्नमेंट ने.
And that is the reason why the government has started the production linked scheme.
ताकि आत्मनिर्भर हो. आप अगर बाहर से, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मोबाइल फोन्स का एग्जाम्पल, चिप्स बाहर से आता था, तो अगर चिप्स बाहर से आना महंगा हो जाएगा तो आप बोलोगे यार मैं इंडिया में बना लेता हूँ, बराबर ही तो पड़ेगा, 50 रुपया 100 रुपया का डिफरेंस है, लेट मी मेक इट हियर ओनली।
बट गवर्नमेंट इतना डेफिसिट में रहता है तो गवर्नमेंट ये चीज मेकअप कैसे करेगा, बिकॉज इतना कोई टैक्सेस तो बढ़ाया नहीं है।
So
गवर्नमेंट की डेफिसिट कहाँ से मीट होगी?
very good question. I think I should have covered this. I don't know how I missed it, but this year the government is planning to do a lot of disinvestment. So for example, the government is saying, so अपनी बात करते हैं, अगर हमारी लाइफ में खर्चे ज्यादा हो जाएंगे कमाई से तो हम क्या बोलेंगे, मेरे पास जो इन्वेस्टमेंट है मैं उसको बेचती हूँ, मेरे पास पैसा पड़ा हुआ है, लेट मी यूज इट। तो गवर्नमेंट के पास इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या है, LIC, SBI, ये सब जो बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां हैं वो गवर्नमेंट की इन्वेस्टमेंट है। तो गवर्नमेंट बोलती है हम LIC को मार्केट में लेके जाएंगे, मतलब बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज पे लिस्ट कर देंगे, तो आप और मैं अपना 1000, 500, 1 लाख, 2 लाख, 5 लाख लगाएंगे, तो IPO के LIC के शेयर्स में लगाएंगे, वो पैसा जाएगा गवर्नमेंट को, क्योंकि LIC आज के दिन में हमारे इंडियन गवर्नमेंट की जायदाद है,
बिगेस्ट कंपनी।
हाँ, सो बिगेस्ट LIC। अब LIC के अलावा द गवर्नमेंट हैज प्रॉमिस्ड दैट दिस ईयर वो बहुत सी कंपनियों का डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट करेगी और 2-3 बैंक्स को भी प्राइवेटाइज करेगी। सो अब कौन से बैंक्स को करेगी ये अभी तक गवर्नमेंट ने नहीं बताया, बट आज के दिन में गवर्नमेंट के पास बहुत से बैंक्स हैं, ऑल बैंक्स आर नेशनलाइज्ड। सो लेट्स से SBI इज नेशनलाइज्ड, पंजाब नेशनल इज नेशनलाइज्ड। सो पिछले साल गवर्नमेंट ने सारे बैंक्स को मर्ज किया, कंसोलिडेट किया था, बहुत सारे छोटे घर थे उनको मिला के एक बड़ा, 2-3-4 बड़ा घर कह दिया। अब बोलते जब जरूरत होगी तो हम एक घर का एक कमरा बेच देंगे। सो यहां से पैसा आता है गवर्नमेंट का, और इसीलिए डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट ये गवर्नमेंट जितना कर लेगी, कमिंग गवर्नमेंट के पास उतना स्कोप कम रहेगा डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट्स का। So it's like
LIC, I think jitna, like again
I don't have an opinion to disinvestment at all.
So, but then disinvestment also really like the past has shown us, disinvestment has also taken us towards the wrong road, where the returns have reduced, the companies have gone into slogs. So that I think
will ulta hota hai. When the private government becomes public, then mostly the company don't survive.
No, but then see, we have
in
got
very rare cases जब private किसी के पास आता है ना, तो जैसे अभी एयर इंडिया का बात चल रहा है प्राइवेट होने का, तो लेट्स से मैं और तुम जैसे लोग खरीद लेते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आज मैं एयर इंडिया खरीद लेती हूँ, तो मैं थोड़ी बोलूंगी कि यार मेरा जो इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो कहीं भी जाए, बिकॉज आई विल बी इन्वॉल्व इन दैट बिजनेस इंडिविजुअली, पर्सनली। सो प्राइवेट और गवर्नमेंट में यही डिफरेंस होता है, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट में एक सिस्टम हैंडल करता है, बट प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट होने से एक बंदे का खुद का पैसा लगा हुआ होता है, तो खुद इन्वॉल्व होता है उसमें।
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, very many companies of the past during the British era, for example, Bharat Process and all, those companies, once they were privatized, those companies really lost its flavor.
So we are talking of
similarly will happen with LIC also when it's, I feel.
Yeah, I honestly have no opinion on disinvestment because it depends on too many things.
These big kitties which are there of the government should remain with it, and it should try to do it as this consolidation of banks.
Tax बढ़ाएगा ना फिर?
अभी तो government cannot increase taxes because it has got to achieve far too much to be able to stay.
Yeah, correct. But I think we can have another Zoom session to discuss and debate about tax.
Offline, probably offline.
We should wrap up this session.
Yeah, thanks so much, Swati. It was very insightful and detailed for the people who are not so much into the finance sector.
Yes.
And thank you for making it woman empowered stuff.
It's been interesting because I've never given a budget session before. So yes, it's interesting for me too.
Nice. Nice. You also got to learn.
Yes, I did.
You did a good job. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Swati, so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for everybody attending this event. Rohini, thanks for being there.
Yes.
Ji, as usual, thanks for being there. As always, yes. Thank you, Swati.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's close the session.
So we are closing this session and looking forward for the next session in the coming month, that is in the month of March, with yet another council member giving her insights. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.